All right, we're going to work on lesson 82 today. Before you start, you want to make sure that you read page 525 and page 526. You can skip 527 today. You don't need to do that activity. You can just work through this with me and you should be okay. So we're going to start with letter A on page 528, and it says trace this figure on your paper a few times, turning your paper as you trace to show that the figure will fill a flat surface. This is a really fun lesson because it's kind of art. It shows how art and math are connected. We're going to go ahead and do what it says. So we've got this, I've already started off one trapezoid here, and we're going to show how I can keep building off of this with trapezoids and it will fill my paper. So we've got that one. And then we're going to switch here and fill in there. We got another trapezoid. It's upside down. And then we're going to switch colors again. And if you guys can see it already, there's a trapezoid there. And then we'll do another one up here. And we'll go ahead and switch again to pink. And we got one there. And these can keep going on forever. Now my drawing's not perfect, but we can do another one here. And we can go ahead and add one there. And we'll switch colors again. We've got a pink here. So notice that we could just keep filling up our paper with trapezoids. And you'll see that they just continue to tessellate. No gaps. There's no spaces between the shapes. And I could just keep drawing trapezoids, and I could fill up my whole paper with trapezoids. Go ahead and add another one up here. Well, my trapezoids aren't perfect, but I think that you can see how this just would keep going forever. I could keep just adding these shapes to make tessellations. I could fill up my whole paper with these trapezoids. I won't keep doing this, but you can see how this would just keep going. Trapezoids tessellate. That means that we can make a picture of this repeating shape without any spaces or gaps between them, and we get trapezoids tessellating. Mr. Bruce is going to check that spelling for tessellations really quick. Trapezoids tessellate. There we go. All right. Let's go ahead and go to B. Now this one says, does this figure tessellate? Well, according to the math book, it's saying that in order for it to be a true tessellation, you can't have gaps. Now this is a pentagon. It's a five-sided shape. And if you'll notice on these pictures that I took off the internet, that there's gaps here. We've got some triangles but that fill in the gaps. But the pentagon by itself does not tessellate. There's gaps. And if you thought, well, maybe I could do it a different way. Well, here's another way, and you can see that there's a gap there. You could use triangles to fill it in, but the pentagon by itself does not tessellate, so we're going to write no. All right, we got one more for you. I pre-drew some shapes here. Now this one's a little different. It says, look at the three shapes below. Find pairs of shapes that will tessellate. Make a list to show the combinations of each pair of shapes. So this is a hexagon here. This is a hexagon. It's a six-sided shape. We've got our trapezoid. And this is supposed to be a rhombus. And my drawing's not totally perfect, but a rhombus means that all four sides are the same side, same length. The difference between a rhombus and a square is that the rhombus does not have right angles. We've got two acute angles and we've got two obtuse angles. Okay, so let's start with the hexagon and see if we can tessellate with one of the other shapes. And I'm pretty sure that if you look closely, you'll realize that a hexagon is really, if it's a regular hexagon, it means all the sides are the same length. If you do that, then if you cut that hexagon in half, you'll notice that it's two trapezoids just stuck together. And as you can see, we've got some, from letter A, we've got a hexagon here. And we've got a hexagon here. Now, this here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, is also a hexagon. Let me switch the color for that. This is an irregular hexagon, but you can see that it's kind of the points are going the other way. So I could add, let's take that middle line away. I could add a trapezoid here, and then another trapezoid below. And then I could add another hexagon to connect them. And there you go. You've got yourself some hexagons and some trapezoids that tessellate together. So we know that hexagons and trapezoids can tessellate together. So we're going to write hexagons, or hexagon, and trapezoid. So that's one pair. Oops, need a Z there. That's one pair that tessellates. So we've got one example. Okay, and then let's go ahead and see a hexagon and a rhombus. Well, so this is, we're going to see if these two match here. So a rhombus is a shape that we probably can find inside the hexagon. Let's go ahead and start with our hexagon, which is really just two rhombuses or rhombi connected together with that dotted line there. But we're going to just see if we can do the rhombus connected to it. So let's go ahead and switch to purple. And we know that a rhombus has 4 equal sides. Let's see if we can do that. There's one there. And I could do another one there. And then I could take and do one here. And we could do one there. I don't really like that. Let's see if I can draw the hexagon on top here. Let's do that. There we go. So this is a little bit more complex, but we've got a hexagon there. And then I could draw, let's do another one down, not purple. Let's do an orange one. We could do another hexagon down here. Trying to make them perfect. And we could do another one here. So I could plug in some rhombi or rhombuses in between the hexagons, and I could definitely keep repeating. Oops, that's not a straight line. I could keep repeating this. There's another rhombus. And let's see. Oops, I did that one different than the other one, didn't I? So let's see. I think it's going to be flipped though. So let's just go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and put one there, and then we'll put one here. And then we've got a setup. See, do you see the two rhombi connected here? And then I got them pointing at each other here. And then I could add another hexagon over here. Which is like this one over here. See, these match. And I could keep doing that. And I could build on this. You know, I could put another rhombus up here. And I could just keep building on this. And I would have, let's just go show you how this would look. There's another rhombus. There's another rhombus. And you notice that my shapes just keep repeating. So, let's see, we put this... and there's this one here and this one here match. So we could keep adding to this as long as the shapes repeat and they don't have gaps. We are tessellating. So I'm going to say that 2, we have 2, which is a hexagon. Ooh, I didn't spell hexagon right up there. We got a hexagon and a rhombus. So those tessellate for sure. Let's go ahead and fix this spelling here. I don't like misspelling, so we're going to fix that, a hexagon. Okay, and then we need one more. There's 3 that match. Let's see, what about a trapezoid and a rhombus? So look, these 2, I think we can try. Let's see where we're going to put those. Let's just go down a little here. And let's see, if we put a trapezoid, and I think it's going to work because we know that 2 trapezoids are a hexagon. So I could do the same thing as I did here. We could just say that this splits there, and we've got 2 trapezoids. I don't even need to make another picture. These are all trapezoids. There's 2 of them. So, do trapezoids and rhombuses tessellate? Definitely. So that's going to be one more. So we're going to say trapezoid and rhombus. Now, tessellations are fun. I mean, you can do different kinds of things with tessellations. You can make different shapes and pictures and all kinds of things. It's a lot of fun to try and come up with ideas of how you can make things match with using different shapes. You can use rectangles. I'm going to switch my colors up here. We're going to do a pink. Here, let's change this. I'm just going to show you one more. I mean, you can do this with like more complicated shapes, but your imagination is really the limit with tessellations. Let's say we're going to do a rectangle, square, a pink rectangle, a purple square, a pink rectangle, and then we'll do a long, skinny rectangle. As long as I kept repeating this, we would have a tessellation. So what would come next right here? Well, it would be a purple square. We'd do another purple square. And then we could do a pink rectangle. And then to make it kind of interesting, I might switch the color of my skinny rectangle on top to purple. And as long as I just kept repeating this pattern over and over, I'd be good. What would go here? Well, it would be a purple square. And then we'd have a pink rectangle next to it. And then on top here, oh, we got to do a pink rectangle to have our rectangles on top match. I got to be careful because this one here covers a square and 2 rectangles. So you got a square and 2 rectangles. And this one here just covers a square and a rectangle. So my purple rectangles only cover half. So as long as I keep repeating that pattern, I'm good. And I could build it up and down too. So maybe we want to do another pink rectangle below. And we could have a pink rectangle here. And then in between them, what would we have? We would have that purple, dark purple, indigo square. Okay. So tessellations are great. You could add stuff inside of them. You could have maybe some triangles. You could turn those into triangles instead of squares. Going back and forth. So maybe that doesn't really tessellate. We'll do some littler triangles there. So tessellations are fun. You can just work with them forever, make your own designs. They're a blast. So I hope you enjoyed this lesson. It was a little bit longer than it needed to be, but I just wanted to show you some other examples. This one here, even though the pentagon does not tessellate by itself, you can combine it with some triangles, and then you can make some cool shapes with that. So have a wonderful day. I'm going to add some ears today and a goatee. Have a good afternoon.